of Visionaries with Aisha. I'm thrilled to announce today, and I'm delighted to have Ms. Kinza Asghar Khan here on this podcast today. She is a pharmacist, she is a certified medical writer, she is a product and data management specialist, and currently present in Sydney. Kinza stands out as a pharmaceutical copywriter and medical marketing expert. She bridges the gap between healthcare brands and the audience by her impactful content writing. And her journey of passion and discipline and curiosity has built a lasting impact in the healthcare communication. So let's welcome Miss Kinza Asghar Khan in the show. Kinza, good evening. Thank you so much for being here after a long, busy day. And I'm sure that this discussion is going to add the value in the podcast.
Thank you so much for your kind sentiments, for such nice words. Thank you, Aisha, for having me over here. I hope we'll have a really nice chat. So let's begin.
Sure. So, Kinza, starting with your intro, your background, who is Kinza Asghar Khan? Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, that's a very difficult question. I usually try to um, humbly think of it, and I try to think of it that I'm nothing if we just try to be humble in our day to day being, and if we look at the broader picture of the universe. But for this audience, I would like to introduce myself as an author, a writer, maybe a writer in making, not a very good writer, but a good writer. And I'm also a doctor of pharmacy, as you introduced me. Other than that, at home, I'm also a wife, a daughter, and like all those beautiful titles I enjoy as a woman. I'm also a sister. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much, Kinza, for sharing your details to us. One curiosity is there in me to know you more. Specifically, how did this pharmacist become the writer and the medical writer?
How did this pharmacist become writer and medical writer? Well, that's pretty interesting. Actually, back in 2017, I during my PharmD, I thought that, and it didn't just come over. I would just share everything like we had this chat a while ago. So basically, when I was in fourth grade, I wrote my first poem, and I felt that people are very encouraging around me. My teachers, my
Mhm.
parents, my family, especially the classmates. So I recited that poem in my school assembly, and everyone was like on our way back to our classrooms. I was listening other kids and children reciting the verses of that poem. So I was
Wow,
like,
amazing.
this is so beautiful. Yeah, so I felt over there, I felt like this is so beautiful to hear your words from someone else and seeing people reciting it, you know. So there I don't know if writing was always there, but I do know that listening to such normal lyrics, because that was a kid's poem, and
Hmm.
listening to such it was not something out of the box, or something so beautiful, or like at the end of the day we are all humans, and I was just a kid in a fourth grader.
Hmm.
So it was like, it was just beautiful for me. I still remembering. It gave me confidence. It made me feel like
Wow,
I can be a good writer. So there, I never left it. I wrote a lot of poems. I have lost my diaries now because I was just a
my
kid and I
God.
couldn't keep them. But back then I wrote a lot of poems, and then I started that again when I was in university and I was doing doctor of pharmacy. It was like a slightly tough phase for me because I was fighting inside my with my creative side and with the pharma side, because pharmaceutical pharmacy in general is very taxing studies to begin with.
Exactly.
And it's also like, you are just you there is no room. I used to feel there is no room for creativity because it's science, and science has to be learned, it has to be understood, and you can't
Yes.
create anything over here. So I was like, what I'm doing, and for what I'm here. So that fight made me write poetry, and a lot of poetry, and I wrote a lot of poetry, and I would be always questioning why I'm here, why I'm in this world, like what's the purpose, what's the point. So that led me to make a page online, an Instagram page, and also to start writing on Wattpad, which is like a community application where authors and readers from all over the world can connect with each other. Anyone can write for free and anyone can read for free over there. So it was like, for a student who is interested in writing, it was a heaven, because I can write and I can get feedback for free, and people would I can make friends who are like-minded, who are readers and writers. So outside the pharmacy department, I found a lot of virtual friends over there, and I brought them over Instagram as well, and we had really good, community on Gram as well. I still have a
Awesome.
lot of those people on Gram.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, and then we created, I collected all the Pakistani authors and new authors, and everyone would be reporting that we have this problem and that problem. Publishing is a big issue in Pakistan, because students write but they can't publish because it's very expensive in Pakistan. So we decided, let's
Yes,
make an
it
authors
is.
community. Yeah, so we decided we should make a authors community. So I'm a founder of Adib Sarai. Now we have more than
Wow.
100 Pakistani writers and authors in
Great.
it. Beautiful community. Thank you. It's a very, very beautiful community, and we try to support each other. It's slightly dead ever since I've come over here. I have gone very busy in personal life lately, but honestly, I don't mind that, taking a break from all those career endeavors and all those aspirations that I have for writing and authors and reading. But
Mm-hmm.
the try is still there, and I have really big hopes in that. I really want to work with people in Pakistan who are interested in writing and reading, and we want to make a safe space for us. We want to make a
Yes.
publishing platform, and some sort of platforms that should just help readers and writers to connect. Maybe something like Wattpad or something like we have very vague and unclear ideas on that, but I do have plans in my mind when it comes to Ateep Sarai, and I feel really excited when I think about it. And we have very beautiful founding members from Ateep Sarai. Like, there are amazing people who have worked with me so far. We also published an all Pakistan anthology, and we had like more than 20 authors in it. All were from Pakistan, and we were so proud of publishing it. It was very, very beautiful milestone from our side, and we did that. Like, it was not expensive as well. Everyone could just pay the price of their copy and they could get it. So basically, free, and all the chance to get published. So we want to do such things more often. We want to provide people a platform to write, and that should be inexpensive, because writing, reading, this should not be so expensive. But unfortunately, in Pakistan, if we want original books, they are very expensive. If we want to write, we want to publish, it's very expensive. So people can't follow their passion, and I really want to do something about it. So yeah, and I think I got a
Wow.
little carried, and I got a bit sad of thinking about it. But yeah, and that's what it is. That's reality.
Even the way you are saying it, my heart is also going down by listening this thing. And the title that you have
Yeah,
shared, beautiful, Adeep Sarai. I'm loving it. And
yeah.
I'll definitely check this one as well. So, Kinza, after hearing you, a girl who started writing in fourth grade, that definitely says that you are a born writer. So this born writer has converted these skills and your passion into the profession. The way you have converted pharmacy into it, I need to know that. How did you choose pharmacy writing or medical writing as a career path?
Okay, so now that's a very interesting question. Actually, I do not want to be a lot philosophical or spiritual here, but I would really want to say, what you are seeking is often within us, and we often end up in circumstances and places where we are meant to be. So what happened is and it was not so good for the world, but when I graduated on around December 2020, it was COVID. COVID was already there, and lockdown everywhere. And due to I could not go out and do an internship in industry, because I was a little bit, if there was something I was interested in when it comes to pharmacy, it was industrial pharmacy, because I used to think that industrial pharmacy is a little less boring than community pharmacy or hospital or clinic. So I thought there is a room for creating or documentation or something like that, which I am more interested in or passionate about. And also, industrial pharmacy is something where you are directly dealing with the creation of medicines or drugs, and that is life saving as well. So my creativity could be satisfied over there. So I was just thinking that, if I'll go somewhere, I'll go in industrial pharmacy. But industries were like under lockdown, they were not taking interns, their own staff was cut down, and it was like not all right for anyone to join. Also, the community pharmacy, hospitals, clinic, no one was taking interns, and everyone was like, just sit back and don't reach out to us in this moment. We are like dealing with a
And
lot.
wait for the right time.
So yeah, so there I had no way, and I was too free for writing. So I started writing, and I started searching for something online because I needed. Honest, I was already writing during my fourth and final year, doing academic writing, and through academic writing in medical subjects, I was earning good money as well as a student. So I had that skill, a little bit of it already, because I knew that I have writing skill, and I ended up in academic first. When I started in 2021 January, around about that time, I was working as an academic writer. So because I knew that I can't sit back and I can't just rely on my parents' money anymore, even though we know that the culture we come from, our parents don't mind. But I wanted to do something because I had a lot of plans in my mind. I wanted to run a magazine. I wanted to run a Deep Sarai. I had so much to do. So I wanted to publish more books. So I wanted to earn money of my own. So so what I did was I was doing academic writing. I joined online platforms. There were a lot of platforms, like there is like Study Pool, there is Writer Bay. It still exists, and I made accounts on all of those platforms. I passed all their tests, and I got two of those places to work and earn from. So it was good money. Like back then, it was a decent income, and I was making money. But very soon I realized that what's the point of academic writing? I'm doing it. Like, I have a degree in doctor of pharmacy. I should do something else. So there I started looking for something else. I was looking, and I explored the internet, and I found out that there is a whole niche called medical writing. Even though it was still the beginning of all the great things that could happen with medcoms, because regulatory medical writing in place, but medcoms was not quite a thing back then. It was like still a developing career. But I think COVID fueled it more, and we had a lot of freelance medical writers coming in back then. So I connected to international freelance medical writers. I connected to people who were just not quite sure what their title is, but they were working the similar jobs as healthcare professionals. So I connected with them. And one of I would just really mention his name is he's Sir Osman. He was working for, I think, DigiSkills Pakistan as a trainer, and he reached out to me on LinkedIn, and he said that he wanted help with some content from me. And of course, he didn't have a lot of money to offer, but he said that he will training. So I was like, I'm pretty much
Okay.
fine with learning. I am all right with learning. I don't want money. I just teach me something. So he taught me SEO. He taught me copywriting. Like he gave me hands-on experience on clients' websites, and I got to do a lot of content. Like it was not there was like not enough money at all. It was like peanuts, and a lot. And my friends or whoever I told about it, they were like making fun of me. They were like, why would you work for this money? And I was like, I'm just learning it, and I know I'll end up somewhere. So and I knew that I didn't know enough back then. So once like a year or so, and even less than a year, I got a job in an intern offer as a content writer, and
Okay.
that was like a company which was a US based startup, and they were working in Pakistan. The CEO was
Mm-hmm.
also Pakistani. I won't mention the name of the
Okay.
company because it was not as good, but the thing is, they also helped me in learning. But I
Okay.
used to work like more than 8-9 hours a day, and they were like paying extremely less as compared to what I was doing. And
Okay.
they had some toxic rules that you can't move from laptop, and if you're moving away, the laptop screen should not be static for too long and all that stuff. that used to happen back then. Even I think now it is a thing, but back then it was pretty harsh from their side. So
Okay.
I would be like, I can't even eat. Like, what's happening here? So I worked there for a couple of months, and I completed my internship as an SEO content writer. I worked with some big magazines like Hustler Digest and insurance related magazines in the USA, and during
Mm-hmm.
my time as an intern over there. But by
Okay.
the time I resigned from that company, I was a pro at SEO content writing. So now I needed to
Mm-hmm.
find a niche because I was still a general content writer and I was not in any specific field or area of expertise. So I decided that I should write about pharmaceuticals and medical because people trust me more in that area because I have a degree in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
there I came up with that personalized title, medical and pharmaceutical copywriter, and I started selling my services online through LinkedIn, through Upwork and Fiverr,
Okay.
and I started getting a lot of work from all these platforms. And a lot of clients reached out to me from all over the world. I worked with people in Spain, Europe, UK, the USA, even UAE, and you name it. Like, and also of course in Pakistan.
Amazing.
I also worked with as a contractor in with companies like Searle Pharmaceuticals and AstraZeneca within. So it was like a good head start for me by the end of 2021. I was doing really well. I was making a lot of money, and by then a company I'm now working with by August
Mm-hmm.
2022. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I had applied to a platform that was an online job board. It doesn't exist anymore. I don't know, a
Okay.
lot of things that I used to do back then, they don't exist. But that was a job. I'm not that old, honestly. But yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. But it was like workable.com or something. And I'm just
Okay.
trying to tell, I'm so desperate to thing for me that I apply to every single job board out there that exists. And on that job board, and maybe that was a local job board or what, but in the USA. But there was a company called Pipeline Medical, which is my current company, and they had a position advertised over it. So I applied to it with my CV that I have this much experience in SEO and I understand health and medical writing and all that stuff. So what happened is that I was not anticipating, but they reached out to me via email, and they also reached out to me via their HR reached out to me, and she said that I want to have an interview. Right after the interview,
Okay.
she said that there'll be another interview. There'll be a test. So they sent a test. I passed the test, and then they had two more interviews. I cleared that. And it's been 3 years I'm working in this company. It's amazing culture. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Very, very less toxic than the rest of the corporate out there. I find it really, and I also learned a lot. Like the that I want to grow. So in roles that I've done with them, I started as a medical writer in marketing, but then I have been promoted to administrator in operations. So I work as a product information specialist over there. So and I'm still working with them right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoy. It's like like you have the flexibility to work 100% remote,
Mm-hmm.
and also I've the sad part is that in this company there are people all over the world, from Philippines, from India,
Mm-hmm.
from America, you name it, like even in South Africa, everywhere. But from Pakistan, it was just me, and then uh, I had my now teammate
Mm-hmm.
Noor
Okay.
referred. So we met on LinkedIn as well, and I knew that she's amazing and all that stuff. So and they were looking for another medical writer, so I referred to her.
Okay.
So now we are only two Pakistanis in this company. It's a bit of a concern for me that online go there. I've seen and I've talked to a lot of online community in LinkedIn and on other platforms as well, and I've seen that people have this concern. They say that companies don't hire Pakistanis, and I don't know why. I think there is something to do with the overall industrial impression, or maybe there is something political behind it. Maybe the payment issues come in. I don't know what's wrong here, but there are issues, there are problems, and this is a bit sad for me. But otherwise, I like this company and I enjoy working here. Yeah.
All right. So the thing that you mentioned, that there is something with this nationality that we are having, and I am also amazed to know that you were the only Pakistani, but all over the world there are the people in this company, and only two are there from Pakistan. So yes, there are few areas, there are few industries, even relevance to this topic in this perspective. If we share about a Pakistani passport all over the world, so the impact would be different. The behavior is different. And there is somewhere our responsibility, and there is the impact that we have already left previously in the past, and the result we are observing it now. So, Kenza, thank you for sharing insightful things. And the thing that you mentioned, that the doors which were closed for you, you had interest in the industrial pharmaceutical area, but that was closed for you. You did not get the room because maybe the nature was driving you towards something that is your inner calling. So, as a medical writer, how written communication has impacted healthcare and pharmaceutical company? What is the impact of it? What do you see?
Yeah. So, first of all, we need to understand that how medical writing works in the pharma industry or in the medical or medcoms industry. So, a lot of people don't have idea about medcoms. When I say I'm a medical writer, a lot of people are also concerned that AI will replace you or something will happen, and you are standing on a very thin rope. But it's not like that. It's a very very professional field. It requires a lot of expertise to be a medical writer, and I don't think anytime soon a bot can do that. But coming back to your question and trying to stick to that, um, basically, pharma industry always needed a medical writer, and they had medical writers always um, on the regulatory side, because when a drug is being formulated and it is being researched, or clinical trials are happening or things like that, they need someone who can document all that, all those steps from the animal studies to onwards, right? So drug discovery needs documentation, and that documentation has always been done by a medical writer or an expert who understands and knows that how to translate scientific data in a way, and regulatory bodies can trust, because drug does not, if approved, you can't do anything with all those research work and all those clinical trials and whatsoever. So they always needed medical writers, and this is a very huge and big industry. They are ready to spend literally any money on such expert who can get the drug approved for them. And a regulatory medical writer is someone who is an expert in different areas, that can be like common technical document, clinical study reports, INR, like drug discovery related content, and so on and so forth. So there are different steps from clinical studies to approval of the drug. There are like a lot of documentation, and there is a different medical writer for all those steps. It's not like one person can do everything or know everything. It's not possible. And once a drug is out there in the market, then the problem is a doctor or a healthcare professional, a nurse, a pharmacist who has been graduated like 5 or 10 years ago, who is going to tell that guy or that woman that this drug is out here, and it does this or that. Like, we have a huge boom of GLP-1, semaglutides, tirzepatides, all that stuff. So who is going to tell them that these are helpful for diabetes or obesity or etc etc, and what are the side effects or adverse effects? We are dealing with real humans over there, so you can't force them to go and study. So pharma company has this responsibility to market it in a way that they should educate, that if the doctor
Yeah.
thinks that the patient should get it, they'll get it. But if he thinks that it has this or that side effect on a particular patient in a particular situation, then of course they won't. But the thing is that to bridge that gap, that knowledge gap, we again need
Gee.
medical writers. And then there we have a
Exactly.
healthcare profession, we have a form of medical writer or type of medical writing where we write content especially for healthcare professionals. And healthcare professional communication would be would be 100x different from patient education material, because
Definitely, definitely.
patient education material needs to be very simple, plain, easy to understand. And in case of HCP, you can use jargon, you can use quote scientific studies, and they'll be easy to understand for them. So again, we have different writers and different expertise for that. So when we work with medcoms agencies, we usually have all this sort of content and all such sort of people who have expertise in it. And every single expertise has a different title. Like for example, medical writer who knows healthcare professional communication. Such
Mm-hmm.
medical writer is called CME specialist, continuing medical education specialist, who
Mm-hmm.
will help write content that can help in writing CME content. Or they
Okay.
can be, if they are writing patient education materials, they'll be working in that area. So there are someone who know patient education. And then we have medcoms is something which is not as regulated, because we are not dealing with drug here, but it is something
Mm-hmm.
which has more to do with educating healthcare professionals and patients alike, and it has to do with marketing, SEO, all that stuff as well. So you have to market, but you have to stay within the limit in the regulatory guidelines. So how it has impacted the industry? Actually, it has impacted the industry really beautifully, I think. If we don't have
Mm-hmm.
medical writers, we don't have medcom specialists, I believe we can't let that knowledge out there, and we can't bridge that gap effectively to our patients or common general public. And this is the high time we need it. Why? Because people are asking AI that, why this is happening, or they're writing their symptoms out there to AI. And there is a lot of misinformation, and now it's the duty of healthcare professionals and people who are knowledgeable and also expert at communication to make sure that this information is not correct. Also, the boom of misinformation was pretty high in COVID-19, and then World Health
Mm-hmm.
Organization has its ambassadors out there. I've also worked with them directly, like as an ambassador, to make sure for the dissemination of and ensuring that the disposal of incorrect information
All
through
right.
digital. So you have to write on, like on wherever platform you see, wherever you have power to, whether it's LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, wherever. But if you've seen a wrong
Mm-hmm.
information, a medical information that is not correct, you should actively talk about it
Okay.
that this is not correct. So World Health
Mm-hmm.
Organization has a very huge program for that. So I would say that it's high time that everyone needs human connection, and its health, human health, and we can't take that for granted. We can't hand it over to bots. So what I know is, from sitting in the industry, from my knowledge, I think Netcoms is the future. It's going to expand from here. Definitely, I can use AI to make sure my content, my communication is great, but doesn't mean that anyone can use AI for that purpose and write instead of me, who knows how to write. Because at the end of the day, we need a writer to look at that information and make sure, a human who can make sure that it is correct. So yeah.
Okay, so Kinza, yes, there is so much confusion at the patient area because pharmaceutical companies work so much on providing the data and information to the HCP, and some trainings and meetups and presentations are going on for the HCP. But when it comes to the patient, so we observe in our society there is so much confusion. Our parents, our siblings, our elders, they have certain mindset about different medicines, and they are using it on their own, and they make their own perspective that this is the thing that reacts me in this way. And there is a gap between the patient and the HCP and the exact information that pharmaceutical companies want to deliver to the patients. So yes, there is a room of improvement for it, and you are observing the difference, and you are doing a great job. That you have worked already in clearing out these confusions and misinformation things. Plus, this the impact of artificial intelligence. I would request you to please talk a little more about it. That uh, chat gpt or these bots can also write it anything, but where does the person who wants to build a career in content writing, medical writing, what guideline would you want to give to those persons who are thinking that artificial intelligence can do my job and we can earn from this career and we want to choose this path? So please, thank you.
Yeah, that is my favorite topic these days. Actually, I like to talk and maybe argue about it with every other person who says that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, for AI, I would say that if someone is starting their career in medical writing, they should be very clear that they need to keep AI with them as an assistant, as a helper,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't
Okay.
just keep it or throw it out of the window that I don't need AI, I can do it myself. Even someone who have worked in pre AI era like myself, they have to learn to use AI as well if they don't know already. So
Definitely.
the right
Definitely.
prompt, yeah, the right prompt helps you to get the right results. But at the same time, I it's been like quite a lot of time that I've been working in medcoms and with AI, and I see that a lot of times it happens that AI is confidently wrong, or no matter
Definitely it
how
is.
detailed, how
It is.
truthful is my prompt, it would give something or some sort of information that I don't need in that particular content area. So to get work out of AI, I need to do very good prompt engineering. So I need to
Mm-hmm.
learn prompt engineering, and anyone
Okay.
who is thinking they should know how prompt engineering works. But they can't be a good prompt engineer if they don't know medical writing at all. For example, um, let's say now at this point, a lot of people say a technical job can be done using AI, like maybe a developer's role, or maybe people say that they can develop or design content using AI. You and I use social media. Do you think we can just rely on AI to create social media posts? Not really. I think it takes a lot of time to even work on Canva and get something reasonable out of it if we read a social media post. So if AI
True.
is that smart, why is it not
Exactly.
creating all our social media posts so far? And we are giving it
Mm-hmm.
every possible command that we can to get the best results, but it still doesn't give us what we want. And same goes for web development or development in general. If I don't know development myself, how can I give it a right prompt that what sort of code I want out of it? Similarly, if someone writing seems easy, or it looks like that I know what I want, but you can't give it a right prompt if you don't know SEO, if you don't know marketing, if you don't know your audience, if you don't understand how a good content looks like, and what areas do we look at when we write. So it's just like an experienced medical writer can only help a junior medical writer to write better. Similarly, only an experienced person can use AI in a better way to get the results that they
Mm-hmm.
want, but still there will be a lot of need to improve it, to do the editing and make it
True.
worthy of putting out there. So I believe it's a very smart tool. I believe it will definitely improve over time, no matter how much you train the AI models, at the end of the day, we are gonna need humans. Of course, that will be a thing that we would need less humans. We would maybe, if not a team of 5 people, then we would need only two or one, but still we'll
Mm-hmm.
need people, and their
The
need
human
will
brain
change
is
or shift.
needed, right? The human mind is
Yeah, so
needed, yes.
yeah, it's needed, and we can't replace it totally, and we can't throw it, because if that was the case, they even still hire, and they are actively hiring script writers, and AI can
Mm-hmm.
write pretty beautiful scripts. But why do we need script writer? Even if I have to make a voiceover and I give it to AI, it writes very good script, but when I speak it out, I feel like, oh no, I can't speak this sentence like this. So I have to change. So
Mm-hmm.
this means that we are always gonna need script writers, because AI can't be so perfect, and someone needs to be there to fix that script that AI has written. So I think it's just a tool to help writers. It's not something which is gonna replace anyone. So new people who are interested in medcom, they should definitely go into it, and they should upskill themselves with AI skills as well, along with the medical knowledge and writing knowledge. They should know AI as well. They should be technical as well a little bit to be into the industry. And the field is not going anywhere. It is expected to only increase, and there have been a lot of researches on that. And US market is growing in it. All the first world is growing. I don't see layoffs, at least in the industry. Like if there
Mm-hmm.
was problem with the advent of AI, I could see that, I could have seen that, but I don't see that. I don't see any layoffs. I don't see such stuff out there. When I look at the industry, people are there. I have been working for 3 years, and during this
Mm-hmm.
time, they also hired another person. So this means they need more people. They don't need. They are not relying on AI. So, and
Mm-hmm.
they've tried a lot to train it to make it smart enough and do whatever they can, but but it's not helping at all. So we, at the end of the day, need people. So human skill can't be replaced, and people should be confident about their knowledge, about using AI, and taking help from it, whatever is
All right. Thank you, Kinza, for sharing a
needed.
depth of comparison of AI and the importance of human mind and creativity. So,
Yeah.
Kinza, if someone wants to bring Metcom as a career, so what would be the career path and how stepwise a person can, if we are taking inspiration from your journey, and there is a room and you have a vast experience working with different organizations, not only limited to Pakistan but globally. So there is a requirement of the from the consultant side or the company side or the industry side from the employee, and there is something needs to be prepared at the employee's end to be to fulfill that place and to be satisfied in their career. So what tips and guidance would you like to give for them?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, if you are interested in medcoms, you should decide that which content area you want to choose. Is it regulatory? Is it
Okay.
copywriting? It is Copywriting is basically about the convergent copywriting is pretty different from simple content writing. Content writing is writing blogs, SEO blogs, etc. Copywriting is they need results from copywriter. They need conversion from copywriter. So landing page conversion and all that stuff is like it's a mandatory thing. So I would say, okay, if you are into medcoms, and if you're thinking about it, first of all decide the content area. Do you
Mm-hmm.
find your interest in marketing, sales? If so, then be on the copywriting side. If no, then you can go on the regulatory side of medical writing. So once you have decided that, then decide the therapeutic areas. There are a lot of therapeutic areas. You can't claim that you know everything. There's oncology, dermatology, aesthetics, whatnot, and also
Mm-hmm.
there are experts who only know about medical devices, pharmaceuticals in general, antibiotics, etc., etc. And there are people who don't know about medical devices at all. So find your area of expertise where you are
Okay.
expert at, and
Mm-hmm.
niche down and be very specific. Initially you'll think that I am just cutting down on good clients and good people who can just offer me great money, but then gradually you will see that you are only attracting people who are
Mm-hmm.
relevant to your interests, and you will find your peace over there. You will find your pace as well, and you'll start working really well in that particular areas, and also make good network. And being honest, these things that I've told, you can't decide them on
Mm-hmm.
your own. You'll have to work in the industry. You'll have to get in touch with a startup or with someone. Like I said, that I got in touch with Rahman and he helped me out. So he gave me exposure to a lot of content. I worked on medical cannabis and drugs and pharmaceuticals, drug stores online, and I worked on their content. And there I realized that I can really write good stuff in pharmaceutical and medical devices. And so I'm now
Mm-hmm.
working in a medical company. So having said that, I would say that try finding a mentor, someone whom you can
Okay.
offer your services even for free, and you can get learning from them. And
Mm-hmm.
you should have a right attitude for that. You should be desperate to learn when you're having a start over there. So gradually you will learn a lot of stuff, and you will attract more people. You will have good networking out there, and once there is a network, you'll start finding clients, and then from there you can grow. So yeah, that's what it is. I think, this is the recipe for any sort of online success. This is just not for medcoms. If you're literally anything, you should get in touch with someone and you should offer them your
Mm-hmm.
services and your time. If you don't know anything right now, just offer them your time and tell them that I'll work for
Mm-hmm.
you for free. And honestly, within a month, you will be a pro because you are offering your services and you're learning. So then you will be ready enough to get into real medical writing. So
All right. Thank you, Miss Kinza. I think being
no.
coachable is important, and we need someone to guide us. And whenever it comes to learning, we should not see only the money because we are getting something in return that has a big list. We are getting experience, learning, training, and we knowing the information, and we are knowing the way how the seniors are and the experts are working in that specific area. So, Ms. Kinza, you're doing remote work right now. How do you manage your responsibilities, and how you stay motivated by working remotely?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, first thing first, your family needs to be very supportive if you're working remotely, because the society we come from, it's like it can be very troublesome for especially for women, because initially I felt that people think that this is not work when I'm working on a laptop and I'm working from home, but it is work. Like, things have changed, world has changed, and so
Mm-hmm.
my family, my parents also adjusted with me even with the odd hours, because in the American time, when I was working in Pakistan, it used to be from 6 p.m. in the evening to 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. at
Mm-hmm.
night. So my days and nights were all messed up. I couldn't go anywhere in the evening. I couldn't do a lot of stuff. So I think that people around you need to be very understanding, because it's not a one-time thing; it's an everyday thing. So and then fully remote, how do I manage it? Honestly, I am such sort of person. I'm okay with hybrid situation as well, because I think it keeps your
Mm-hmm.
mind fresh. You go there
Yes.
sometimes, and but but I am also all right with remote roles and remote environments, because I think working from the comfort of your home, what's better than that? So that is one thing for me. Like, if for me it's pretty easy, but for some people it
Mm-hmm.
won't be as easy. I know extroverted people don't enjoy remote work at all, and they don't stay motivated at all. For that,
Mm-hmm.
I would say they should go out in co-working spaces. They should work over there. They should go
Mm-hmm.
out from their home. They should work over there,
Okay.
because I believe that in Pakistan it's a very good way to earn online and work with international companies. So if you want to make good money, and if you want to have a good international linkage with different beautiful companies, or good startups and organizations, and learn amazing stuff, then I think you there is the only way is remote work. So um, and for that, you should definitely consider things like that. Co-working spaces can help people online who are working in remote environments. They have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
ideas to share. They should join those communities, and they should talk to them. And also, I think at the end of the day, you should have very healthy conversations with people around you, because I know women who have come to me and who have told me that my in-laws are not understanding. A lot of women say that, and Alhamdulillah,
Yes.
my in-laws are not like that. But I know women who complain that a lot, that their
Yes,
in-laws are
there
not
are
okay with.
challenges. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they have a lot of challenges in working online or remotely. So they prefer going on site, because they think that this, at least we will be out of home for some time and nobody will bother us. So that's what it is. There should be a very healthy conversation with people who understand you, and you should talk to them openly that this is work. And even if I go to office, I work on a laptop. So if I get that space over there, why not at home? So and then you should at the same time try to take care of your mental health, because when you're working remotely, I know there were times when I would not go out of home for like weeks, and it used to be really
Mm-hmm.
bad. So you should definitely push yourself out from your comfort
Mm-hmm.
zone and go outside. You meet people. You should make more closer network of friends and family where you can be yourself. So your mental health be at place. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kinza, for sharing your insightful thoughts and your experience and your perspective about this remote job and your suggestions also. They are truly helpful. And I also believe that sometimes we need the room of giving a break to ourselves and give a mental freshness and then coming back to the work. And sometimes, yes, there is a need to go at the site as well because we do not get the focus being at home. So yeah, depending on the situation, we have to take some decisions. Ms. Kinza Asghar Khan, this was a nice discussion and it was a valuable podcast. Some experiences you share, your information, your journey, your tips and guidance you have given to those who want to come in this field and who want to thrive. So thank you so much once again for being here. Uh, Closing this podcast with one of the message by your side, anything specifically that you have learned throughout your profession, uh, how long since you have been working, you would have learned so many things. Some skills are needed, some dedication, discipline, passion, curiosity. What would you rate the topmost thing in this successful career? What is the needful thing? I would request you to please give this message to the audience and then we will be saying goodbye.
Thank you, Aisha. And for the message, I would really say, if I can think of one thing, as you asked
Mm-hmm.
this question, I would say it is the attitude that matters.
Okay.
Because if because you can like get a million things right, but if your attitude is not something which can be coachable, which has nothing to do with hard work, and like if you just fall once and you are like, oh no, what's happening with my life, and you're like that, then you can't grow at all in life. If you want to grow at life, if you want to win at life, you need to be coachable. You should be open to learning. You should be open to earning less if you think that a certain opportunity provides you a good room to learn. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, you should have that attitude that for learning, I'm going to do anything for now. And then there'll be a time you'll be making money as well. Also, you should be hardworking. You should, a lot of times in life, I had this feeling that hard work is of no use. People who are lucky, they just get everything. But being honest, at this point, I can tell from experience that hard work never goes in waste. Hard work is always gonna pay you back. So please don't ever think that, and don't ever give up on hard work, and have that right attitude to learn and grow. So yeah, that's my message for everyone.
Thank you your precious time to us for giving this advice. And I this podcast with this thing that yes, the most important aspect if you Kinza, Allah Hafiz, take care.